Welcome. It is Intuitive Tea, and I'm here to bring you the new moon in Scorpio reading. I'm actually going to change up where I do this and how I do this because what we are really, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that with the background, but let's see. Maybe no to the background and add it. We'll see if it comes up. I'll just shuffle through. Cool. So we are doing the new moon in Scorpio, and this moon is called the Raging Moon. The Raging Moon has themes about. Excuse me, sorry, hold on one second. This moon has themes about how the heart has not yet matured enough to understand and cope with troubles. So, the heart has not yet matured enough during this time to understand and cope to troubles. One of the best times for shadow work. Learn to love on and appreciate the most unacceptable parts of yourself. Deep understanding of self to the point that shadow work leads into compassion, and the heart at this time needs to be handled with care, yet still held accountable for all their actions. Some journal prompts I have here, if that's your thing, I want to share them with you. How does manifesting not coming on your timing affect your hope? So how does manifesting not coming on your timing affect your hope? How can you gain and nurture compassion for your shadow self? Page of Wands. How can one respond to situations that we are powerless and unable to change your worlds? So how do you respond to situations where you are powerless and unable to change it? Where, when reflected, have you not yet matured enough to understand and cope? Three of Pentacles and Page of Wands popped out on us. So let's just tune in to see what that means. They popped out on the questions of, so we had Page of Wands, which is newly inspired, and Three of Pentacles, which is suitable career. So newly inspired in your career is how we shift from this rage. This is mine, and I'm okay with that. This is mine, and I'm okay with that. So, welcome to Intuitive Tea's Raging Moon reading. I just got dragged by spirit as I was giving y'all the details, and that's okay. We will pull these back, right? And let's get to it. So, because Scorpio is a water sign, we're going to start with water signs. And we're going to pull first the response to being powerless. So, the first prompt. The first card in this new moon in Scorpio, the Raging Moon, will be responding to being powerless. So what does Spirit have to let us know for water signs? The Hierophant and Eight of Pentacles responds to being powerless. The Hierophant has to do with institutions, traditions, safety, society rules. So this aspect responds to being powerless. How do you respond to institutions, traditions, and society rules? We also got the Eight of Pentacles, which is laying groundwork. So you may not respond immediately. We are doing the new moon in Scorpio, the Raging Moon. So I'm doing the elemental readings. I'm on water sign right now and answering the tarot question because Spirit picked out two cards for water signs and the response to being powerless. We have the Hierophant that is in regards to institutions, traditions, society rules, water signs. If any of these things are stressing you out, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which has to do with laying the groundwork. Don't immediately, your response to being powerless. You are not powerless, but you do have to lay the groundwork. You do need a foundation in regards to this response to being powerless. So begin to lay your foundation is the message for water signs. The next question is, where can you gain power and self-compassion? Where can you gain power, water signs, in your self-compassion? Oh, there it is. The devil. The devil has to do with destruction, addiction, and giving away power. So, where can you gain power and self compassion? By one, to stop giving it out, water signs. Don't, that is what to me sticks out the most. Giving away your power. Where can you gain power in your self compassion? Destroying the walls you have around what's allowing you to gain support and to be held. That's what I would say would be that. All right, we're going to go to the Disney villains deck for the next question. Area of your life, water signs, where shadow work is necessary. Where is water signs needing shadow work? I'm not going to take that because that was flipped from previous. So, where is water signs needing guidance from spirit on where to do shadow work? Where is water signs need guidance from spirit on what to do for their shadow work? Ooh, Three of Coins. The Three of Coins has to do with suitable career. So, where do you need to do your shadow work, water signs, in regards to your career path? Is that really what you want to do? I feel like this day and age, for someone to be like, I love my career, is for real, but in the way that it's multifaceted and multi-layered. So ensure that your career is your life where you need shadow work. Water signs. I compete that. I know a water sign personally who's going through shadow work in their career. So, yeah. And then lastly, we have, where do we need more skills for self awareness? The Chariot, Three of Wands, Ace of Wands, and the Emperor came out. Damn, water signs, you got a lot going on here. So, where do you need more skills for self awareness? The Chariot talks about movement, progress, and integration. So, more skills for self awareness, I would say integration. Then we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is about reaping rewards. So, where do you need more skills for self awareness? I would say here in what is actually magic around you, where you are already blessed. You may be missing daily blessings that are like, girl, this is a daily blessing, and you're just not paying attention. Next we got, let's see. Next, we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is about new beginnings. So, where do you need more skills for self awareness? You have to go to new arenas to practice your skills. You can't be using your skills in the same sandbox saying you're the best because you're not. And where do you need more skills for self awareness? The Emperor card came out. It has to do with structure, stability, rules, and power. Where do you need more skills for self awareness, structure, stability, rules, and power? That was a lot. That was a lot. Let's get a picture of this. Sorry, I'm just lining the babies up. Perfect. We're going to keep going. It just upset me, but it's all right. Next, we got let's put these babies back. We have, so water, fire. Going back to responding to being powerless, fire signs. Spirits, what do you have for us today? Spirit, what is your response for fire signs and being powerless? The Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. So for fire signs, Four of Pentacles in response to feeling powerless, holding self back out of fear is what the Four of Pentacles is giving us. So what is response to being powerless? Holding yourself back out of fear. The Seven of Swords is secret plans. So what are your response to feeling powerless? Holding yourself back out of fear and having secret plans. It's giving, yes. Where can I gain power in your self-compassion? Almost lost all of them. Good God, Page of Wands. Almost lost all of them. Good God, Page of Wands. Where can you get? What newly inspires you? Run, fire signs. It's super important to listen to when those newly inspired passions help you love on yourself a little deeper and with more intention. So next question is, where in your life is shadow work necessary in the true love department? The Lover's card is sexuality, passion, choice, and writing. So get to writing, fire signs, me included. And lastly, where do you need more skills for self-awareness? Where do you need more skills for self-awareness? It's the one. Seven of Cups. Indecision. Where do you need more tools, skills for self-awareness is where indecision lies. Don't ride the fence, baby. In or out. Like our elders would say to us when we were playing too much in and outside the house. In or out. Are you in? Are you out? It's okay to be either, but pick one and stay there. Ashe. Okay, fire signs, getting right fucking to it. Next we have earth signs, and earth signs for the raging Scorpio moon. I'm so happy. Yesterday I recorded a video for the breakdown of it, and I had someone there, so we were talking. I'm not doing lots of readings right now. What is earth signs' response to feeling powerless? The Emperor card. That is structure, stability, rules, and power. Your response to feeling powerless is realizing, earth signs, that you are the power. You embody power and continue to embody it because they can't take it from you. King of Swords popped out before I was done, and that's controlling and rational. So where in response to being powerless, don't be controlling and irrational. Controlling rationally is your response to being powerless. That was nice. Next we have, I'm not taking that again. Where can I gain my power in my self-compassion? Where can earth signs gain power in their self-compassion? Where can earth signs gain power in their self-compassion? The Six of Swords. Six of Swords is leaving and going to better. So where can you gain power in self-compassion? Leaving what isn't fulfilling you, earth signs, and being better, and then finding better because you're embodying that, and it's going to flow and follow you. We're going to go to the Disney villain deck, and we're going to pull our next question, which is area in your life where shadow work is necessary. Earth signs, where is shadow work necessary? Where in earth signs' life is shadow work necessary? Oh, there it is. The Fool and Three of Cups. The Fool has to do with new beginnings, optimism, and trust in life. Where do you need shadow work? So places where you don't have optimism or you're very fearful or not trusting in life, that's a place to go for that. Hey, money, hope all is well. Sending love to you and baby girl. And then we have Three of Cups. Three of Cups is celebration. So where you need to be celebrated or where you feel like you should be celebrated in our signs, this is where you can do some shadow work. Where are everyone else missing the celebration of you? Is what it is. I got a new number, but message me on iCloud. Where do you need more skills for self-awareness? King of Wands. More skills for self-awareness, earth signs, maturity and passion. So skills for self-awareness, acknowledging and tuning in where your passions are, but maturizing them. So getting them elevated and so that they are your skills for self-awareness. So your maturity and your passion, your passionate energy, you're deserving of those, and the things that you do for self-awareness could be very like elementary and you have to up what you got going on. So that's where I take that in terms of your self-awareness, and that will help continue to give you self-awareness. This is something that is a personal experience and response. It's not one that is asking for support from others. And lastly, we have air signs. Air signs. And starting here, response to feeling powerless. Air signs, how are we in the Scorpio moon energy? Spirit, how are air signs responding to feeling powerless? The Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords. The Ten of Swords has to do with self-sabotage. So in regards to feeling powerless, self-sabotage is a response, and Four of Swords, which is meditation, should be the real response to feeling powerless, because there isn't a need to self-sabotage and then meditate on it. Meditate so you can avoid self-sabotage, air signs. Next, let's find out, where can you gain power in your self-compassion? Where can you gain power in your self-compassion? Oh, King of Pentacles. Where can you gain power in your self-compassion? Air signs in regards to finances, and being financially secure, having self-compassion there and gaining power in that. This card to come out is not a negative card, it's a positive card. So being kinder to yourself during this financial securing and foundations that you are laying, because it's happening. It does happen. You're worthy of it, and it's coming, or it's here, and it's fine-tuning and doing what it needs to do. Next, we have areas of your life with the Disney villain deck where shadow work is necessary. Where in your life is shadow work necessary? Air signs, where in your life is shadow work necessary? Air signs, we got 3 cards that came out. King of Cups, where in your life is shadow work necessary? Need to acknowledge deep feelings is needed where shadow work is necessary. We have the 7 of Wands, which is feeling defensive is where you need to work on your shadow, and 5 of Cups, which is sentimentality, is where you need to work on your shadow. That's very specific, very intentional, very straight to it, and you're worthy of that awareness that you gain from that shadow work. I encourage you to do it. I do have a shadow healing guided journey that you can do at your own pace in your own space, and call for the supports that you need as you need them. But it's not something that has to go. And then lastly, for air sign spirit, what is it that they are in need of more skills for self-awareness? What is air signs needing more skills for self-awareness with? Oh, okay. Queen of Cups, which is emotionally nurturing and intuitive energy. So, where you need more skills, gaining on your intuition, deepening your understandings of emotions and feelings. So, emotional intelligence gain and nurturing yourself during this time, as well as gaining and understanding that you are worthy of this time. So, it's for your empowerment and growth. Where do you need more skills for self awareness? The Hanged Man, surrender, new perspective, and enlightenment. So, using these skills for self awareness, which would be again surrender, new perspective, and enlightenment. Lastly, oh no, not lastly, we have Four of Coins. This came out again where you need more skills for self awareness. Four of Coins has to do holding self back out of fear. And lastly, we have the Knight of Coins, which is cautious energy in regards to self awareness. So I would say nurturing the energy surrounding fear and what it is that you're fearing, and honoring that you are fearing something, but then also acknowledging that for your self awareness, what is that teaching you? What is it? What is that brought to the value of that? What it is you fear of losing? And I think that is fucking crucial, real crucial, real intentional, real, period. Let me take a picture of this and then I'm gonna go and do some deep dives. Here we'll be getting off live. No, we're not going to get off live. We're going to do a little together. So if anyone has any questions about what it is that I do, here is time, and we can work together to do so. But oh my goodness, I forgot I needed this. I'm so excited because I'm building you right now. The the deep message that it is.
Was the month of November, and all through Bob's stores were weekly unboxings of savings and more. I'm talking unbeatable values on styles for every room. You could even save big on thousands of markdown clearance items. Excuse me. Well, you get the idea. So stay tuned and stop into your local store or shop online to unbox major savings every week.
We're ready, y'all. All right. Let's get into the breakdowns of each of these. This is why I love. So I did my reading, and I just wanted to share with you what it is that the people were saying too. Okay, raging moon in Scorpio. Transmission for fire signs. How to respond to being powerless. The Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords came out. Fire signs, when power slips from your hands, you tighten your grip. The Four of Pentacles shows you you're clenching emotional, energetic, or even financial control. Afraid of loosening your hold will make you lose everything. But the Seven of Swords reveals that truth beneath that. You don't trust others or sometimes yourself to handle your vulnerability with care. So you withdraw, strategize, protect, and sometimes isolate. Under the raging moon, this pattern is highlighted. Your heart is not fully matured in its relationship to surrender, not because you're wrong, but because you've been conditioned to equate surrender with defeat. This moon says your powerlessness is not a threat, it's initiation into trust. Get off of this now. Don't need this anymore. Our second question for fire signs in reflection is where to gain power through self compassion. The Page of Wands came up. Your fire regenerates the moment you allow yourself to be new again. Your self compassion for fire. Your fire regenerates the moment you allow yourself to be new again. Your self compassion for fire isn't without judgment, to begin without perfection, or to try without punishment. The Page of Wands reminds you your power returns through play, inspiration, and self permission, not discipline alone. It's compassion expressed as creativity, hope expressed as action, and healing expressed as movement. Let your inner spark roam again. That is where your power has been hiding. Where shadow work is necessary. The Lovers. This shadow runs deep. Fire signs. The Lovers brings you into a realm of choice, mirrored truth, and relationship wounds. Your shadow work centers around how you choose partners, friends, and lovers, how you choose yourself, how you confuse desire with destiny, where you sacrifice identity for connection, and where you abandon self for approval or intensity. This moon exposes the place you love with fire but trust with fear. The raging moon asks you, what parts of you do you not yet love? What parts do you not let choose? Shadow work here is about maturing your heart into discernment and not defensiveness. Lastly, the fourth question, where you need more skills and self awareness. The Seven of Cups came up. Illusion, projection, daydreams turning into expectations. The Seven of Cups shows fire signs that get lost in the smoke of possibilities, fantasies, or fears, especially when emotions are involved, are overwhelmed. Your self awareness skills need strengthening around distinguishing intuition from impulse, seeing people as they are, not who they could be, knowing your true desire versus a trauma based craving, and managing emotional overstimulation, discerning fantasy from guidance. This moon reminds you, fire signs, every cup is not your cup. Every motion is not your truth. Every possibility is not your path. You are learning how to choose with clarity instead of heat. Fire elemental summary for the raging new moon medicine. You are learning to soften your grip without losing your flame. You are reclaiming your power through wonder, not war. You are entering the shadow of heart, where choices become mirrors, and you are strengthening the emotional discernment that keeps your fire burning clean. Let's get into the water sign elements. Water, you are in the home of the moon, but the moon is not gentle. This moon is not gentle. This is a raging moon, a mother tide that exposes a part of your heart that hasn't fully matured into their spiritual strength yet. You are not being punished, you're being initiated. So, how you respond to being powerless. The Hierophant and the Eight of Pentacles came out. When water signs feel powerless, you search for structure, even if it contradicts your emotional nature. With the Hierophant, you cling to what's tried, what's true, and what's been taught. Traditions, roles, routines, spiritual practices, moral codes, anything that gives you a sense of grounding. But the Eight of Pentacles shows the deeper truth. You try to work your way out of powerlessness. You labor, refine, perfect, and fix. You take responsibility for the entire emotional field, yours, theirs, everyone's, believing that if you just do it better, the situation will shift. But under this moon, this pattern becomes clear. Your work ethic is not the same as your worth. You cannot craft your way out of moments designed to teach surrender. This moon whispers, stop doing and start listening. Powerlessness is not your enemy, avoidance is. Where to gain power through self compassion, water, babies. The devil. The part of you you've judged the most is the part you need to reclaim. The devil isn't warning for water, it's a mirror. Self compassion must be directed towards your desires, your obsessions, your pleasure, your compulsions, your fears of losing control, your need for intensity, and your patterns of emotional fusion. The shadow you've locked away is where your power has been stored. The raging moon teaches self compassion is not softness, it's sovereignty. It's releasing shame around what pulls you, what tempts you, or scares you. It's acknowledging the part of you that hungers, not just the part that heals. Your chains are illusions. Your desire is not your downfall, it's your compass. Area of life where shadow work is necessary. The Three of Coins is showing that your shadow work sits inside your collaborations, community, and shared efforts, the places where you build with others. This card reveals the patterns you avoid seeing, water signs, carrying more weight than everyone else, staying quiet to keep the peace, over functioning emotionally, expecting others to just know, feeling unseen in teamwork, resenting people for not matching your intensity, and downplaying your skill or mastery. The Three of Coins says your shadow is rooted in underestimating your value and overinvesting where reciprocity is unbalanced. This moon says stop auditioning for spaces you already outgrew, water signs, and start building with those who match your devotion. Lastly, water signs, where you need more skills and self awareness. Water signs, this spread is a sermon. You're learning emotional leadership, not emotional survival. The chariot shows you that you need more awareness of your emotional momentum, where you're being led to by purpose or where you're being driven by fear. You move fast when you're overwhelmed, not just when you're inspired. The Three of Wands, you must expand your awareness of what you're anticipating, the outcomes you secretly expect, the patterns you assume will repeat. You project futures based on emotional history instead of emotional truth. The Ace of Wands shows you that your awareness needs sharpening around impulse, ignition, and desire. Sometimes your first spark is divine, sometimes it's reactive, learning to distinguish passion from panic. And lastly, the Emperor, and most importantly, you're being called into emotional authority. Your boundaries need refinement, your discipline needs compassion, your leadership needs grounding, your decisions need solidity. This moon says stop dissolving, start directing. Stop waiting and start choosing. Stop yielding and start reigning. You are not meant to be an emotional ocean alone. You're meant to be the one who commands its tides. Little summary for this raging moon medicine for water signs. You are unlearning overwork as a safety net. You are reclaiming your desire as holy and not harmful. You are confronting the places where you build but do not receive, and you are stepping into emotional authority with a fire backed clarity. This moon is not here to comfort you, it is here to ground you. That was good. Earth elements, the Scorpio new moon. We had some interesting tarot pulls here. And for the Scorpio new moon, the raging moon, how you feel powerless. We got the Emperor and the King of Swords. Earth signs, when you feel powerless, your instinct is to tighten control, to intellectualize the moment, strategize the next move, and clamp down on your boundaries. The Emperor is your demands order. The King of Swords in you demands logic. But the raging moon expresses the truth. You're not avoiding chaos, you're avoiding vulnerability. Earth signs, this new moon reveals the patterns. When you can't change the outcome, you try to command it. When you can't command it, you try to detach from it. Both are survival strategies born from a heart that learned early that stability must be self made. A shadow message. Rigidity is your shield, detachment is your emergency exit. Where can you gain power and self compassion? Six of Swords, Earth signs. Scorpio season invites you to soften your transition. You gain power by letting yourself walk away from the mental battlefield rather than forcing yourself to push through. Self compassion looks like choosing peace over perfection, letting thoughts drift instead of policing them, acknowledging you've outgrown a mindset, and releasing the old narrative that I must handle it all alone. Your power rises when you allow yourself to move forward without demanding closure first. Not every bridge needs a blueprint to cross, some just need willingness. Earth signs, where is your shadow work necessary? The Fool and Three of Cups came out. This is deep. Your shadow work sits at the intersection of new beginnings and community connection. This wound, your fear being unsupported when you leap, or worse, being celebrated then abandoned. The Fool reveals your resistance to trusting the unknown. The Three of Cups reveals your resistance to trusting others. So, Earth signs, shadow work asks, why does joy feel risky? Why does community feel conditional? And why does beginning again, stir fear instead of excitement? The Scorpio new moon says your heart wants to trust again, but it still flinches from old memories. This is the wound ready to be held, not hidden. And Earth signs, lastly, where you need more skills for self awareness, the King of Wands came out. You need to deepen your awareness on how you drive ambition, on how your drive, ambition, and leadership energy can sometimes outrun your emotional attunement. This is not criticism, it's clarity. The King of Wands reveals a pattern. You feel most yourself when you're achieving, directing, or inspiring, but your self awareness grows when you slow down enough to ask, am I acting from desire or from pleasure or from pressure? Am I leading or avoiding? And am I passionate or performing competence? Scorpio's raging new moon shows you your fire isn't the problem. Your unconscious why behind the fire is what needs exploring. Ashe. Lastly, we have the air element. Air element in the raging new moon, Scorpio new moon. How do you respond to being powerless? The Ten of Swords and Four of Swords came out for air signs. When power leaves your hands, your mind goes into extremes. The Ten of Swords shows the moment you mentally collapse. Overthinking becomes catastrophic thinking, and you assume the worst has already happened. Your mind creates endings before life does. Air signs. How do you respond to being powerless? Then the Four of Swords steps in. You withdraw, freeze, detach, or go numb. Your coping mechanism is mental shutdown disguised as rest. Under the raging new moon, this pattern reveals itself clearly. Your mind doesn't know how to not have answers. Your heart doesn't know how to rest without retreating. Powerlessness isn't the problem, your exhaustion is. You need recovery, not retreat, stillness, and not shutdown. Air signs, where can you gain power and self compassion? King of Pentacles came out. Your compassion becomes power when you ground yourself back into the body and the physical worlds. Air signs, the King of Pentacles is reminding you you reclaim your emotional strength when you reconnect to your routines, your safety, your stability, your physical comfort, your resources, and your sense of capability. Self compassion for air is not emotional softness, it's embodied presence. You're powerful when you remember you exist below the neck. Your body knows what your mind refuses to slow down long enough to say. Air signs, where is shadow work necessary? King of Cups, Seven of Wands, and Five of Cups came down. Your emotional landscape is where the deepest shadow sits. The King of Cups is reminding you that you try very hard to be emotionally composed, control wise, and stable for others. But this can become a mask, a way of avoiding your own rawness. The Seven of Wands is telling you that you defend your emotional boundaries so aggressively that sometimes you block out help, tenderness, or vulnerability. In air signs, the Five of Cups, in regard to where shadow work is necessary. Past emotional disappointments live in your shadow, shaping expectations you don't even realize that you carry. Shadow themes here are emotional bypassing, avoiding vulnerability, hyper independence, hidden grief, feeling responsible for everyone else's emotional experience, and resisting emotional intimacy because it feels unpredictable. Scorpio no moon is asking you, air signs, what grief have you intellectualized instead of felt? What emotions have you controlled instead of expressed? This is where the shadow waits for you. And lastly, air signs, where you need more skills for self awareness. You had four cards come out for this answer. And this is a full emotional development curriculum. The Queen of Cups is telling you that you need deeper awareness of your inner emotional tides, not just understanding them intellectually, but feeling them intuitively. Your emotions are subtle but powerful. You must learn how to listen before they erupt. The Hanged Man. You need awareness around your avoidance patterns, where you stall, pause, suspend, or wait instead of acting. Your stillness is sometimes wisdom and sometimes fear. Knight of Coins. You need practice with slow emotional processing, not rushing clarity, not forcing insight. Consistency with your healing, not speed, is where growth happens. In the Four of Coins, you need awareness of where you hold on too tightly to control, to perception, to safety, to emotional distance. This is where you block intimacy, heart led decisions, and trust. The raging moon tells you your heart is maturing through patience, not precision, through surrender, not strategy, through receiving and not rationalizing. Summary here for the air elements, raging moon medicine. You are unlearning collapse and shutdown as coping mechanisms. You are grounding your compassion into the body, and you are confronting your emotional armor you built to survive disappointment. You are developing deep emotional awareness, not just mental understanding. This moon is the mirror your heart didn't know it needed. That was really good. Perfect. Ashe.